Legendary investor Jeremy Grantham says there is a housing bubble in every area of the United States. He also has called a peak in the NASDAQ. Let's get into that and more today. Now, later on in this video, we're going to ask the question, would you swim in a suspended swimming pool like this one right here? This was a shared housing community, and they built a suspended swimming pool that went across the tops of 2 buildings. We'll take a look at some more photos of that here in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about this article. Jeremy Grantham, housing bubble in almost every market. This is out of Business Insider. Now, we've been tracking the housing bubble here on this channel for years, a few years. And we have said here that the sky is the limit for home prices. Why? Because it's endless amounts of money that can be created out of thin air in infinite amounts. They can stop foreclosures. They can allow banks to continuously loan out money that they don't have technically, in digital form. So therefore they can keep the bubble not just propped up, but keep it getting bigger and bigger. But let's take a look at what Jeremy Grantham has to say about this current housing bubble. Now, Grantham did say that there would be a day of reckoning. And he said, quote, pessimism termites, unquote, which soon get the rest of the market. And in a recent interview, he went on to say the following also, quote, this time you look around and you find the real estate is suddenly pretty bubbly in almost every interesting market in the world, unquote. Now, we've talked about the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. We know it's up 13% year over year. In the United States and the UK, home prices shot up about 11% year over year. So this banking system, the system of lending and fiat fractional lending system, is global. It's all a matter of how much regulations or restrictions are going to be put on the banks. And we haven't seen too many regulations thus yet. Now, here's where it gets interesting as far as what Jeremy Grantham says. He also said the following, quote, you can't keep an asset class like housing where the house doesn't change and you're just marking it up in real terms year after year. Eventually, there'll be a day of reckoning. Now, he also went on to talk about the stock market and more specifically the NASDAQ. And he said the NASDAQ likely peaked. And he says the tech-laden stock index was about 3% off of its all-time high, which it reached in April. Now, still on the topic of keeping the housing bubble inflated, this is out of housingwire.com. The Biden tax credit to rehab homes is finally unveiled. Now, in my opinion, this is very, very unnecessary, not just because there's a housing bubble, but we also have real estate flippers who essentially do just that. They borrow money. Some of them have cash, but a lot of times they borrow money to rehab homes and then turn around and flip those homes and make a big profit. And actually, home prices are going up so fast right now, they may not have to do much rehabbing or upgrading of the home, and just buying a home and selling it 6 months later could turn you a pretty good profit in this market. The president announced the neighborhood homes tax credit, which would incentivize the rehabbing of outdated homes. Investors who acquire and renovate older homes could claim the credit on their federal tax returns as long as the home is sold and occupied by an eligible buyer. In order for investors to qualify for the credit, buyers must make no more than 140% of the area median income. All right, so just what we need, right, is more help for people to buy and rehab homes. Now, supporters of this say it's going to make it easier for people to just buy a home in turnkey condition and not have to do upgrades or rehab the home themselves. But critics say this could actually add even more fuel to the housing market that's already overheating and has already priced out a lot of people. And on this channel, we've talked about the homeownership rate. It's actually now dropping because owner occupants, people that want to buy the home to live in, are starting to get priced out, but yet investors and big companies can still afford to buy these homes, basically buy them and turn around to rent them out. And here's the most recent update on the home ownership chart. This is out of the Fed website. And let's go ahead and zoom in on a 5-year chart here. We see the big run up as the Great Sickness rolled out, as people left the cities, one, because they were scared of getting sick likely and scared of crowds, and two, to just get more room, go out to the country, and the work at home opportunity was pretty big as well. encouraging people to go out to more rural areas in smaller town USA. But what have we seen now? This year, we've seen a steady decline in home ownership. What does that mean? That means more investors and people buying second homes and homes that they don't intend on occupying themselves have stepped in more heavy-handed versus at the beginning of the Great Sickness. And currently the home ownership rate stands at about 66%, so roughly 34% of people are renting their primary residence. Now we've got some other housing market news here to put out, but there's a bigger report that I'm going to put out, I think later this week, maybe on the weekend, we'll have to see. I'm in the research mode for that one, but let's talk about the suspended swimming pool. So here is an aerial view of the Sky swimming pool. You can see it between two buildings right here. And this is in a shared housing community. This is over in the UK. But if you're in a shared housing community, you're going to be paying for this because this is going to be part of your monthly fee. And imagine if you're too scared to go in this and you live in this building, you're going to be paying for not only the construction of this, but the maintenance and the upkeep of this type of setup here. And if you're too frightened to go in there, you're basically paying for something that you're going to be too scared to use. And that would be me. I would not go in this swimming pool. It's many, many stories in the air. Let's take a look at it, and you let me know if you would go in this yourself. I sure wouldn't.
This Sky pool, doesn't it look amazing? Is near the US Embassy in Nine Elms, just south of the River Thames, and it's believed to be the world's first transparent pool.
All right, people, thank you for being here, Bulls and Bears. We're going to wrap this up right here. What do you think about what Jeremy Grantham said about the NASDAQ and the housing bubble? Will 2021 be the year? Also, what do you think about the incentive for rehabbing homes? It seems to me that home flippers already have the market cornered on buying and rehabbing and reselling homes, aka home flippers. And what do you think about the Sky pool? Would you be swimming in that pool? And would you be happy if your apartment building put in that type of pool? I'm sure they had to do some type of vote. But what do you think about that? Would you swim in it? And would you be happy to have that in your building? All right, also, final note here for those of you that do like the outro music. I have a lot of different songs I've been putting in at the end. Some of you like them, some of you hate them, some of you are kind of indifferent. But the few of you that like them, maybe some of them, maybe not all of them, the link to the song will be down in description for each video. So if you like the outro music, look down in the description. The full song will be down there. Right now there's no lyrics or vocals. They're still just in demo stage. And these are just for videos. They're not meant to be, you know, super pop songs or anything like that. But thanks everybody for being here. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking. Till next time, bye for now. Peace.